Hello guys and gals, me Mutahar. I think the Sonic community is a little insane, ladies and gentlemen. Now, I've been a huge Sonic fan, okay? Some would say that pivotal moments of my YouTube channel were centered around Sonic. When I used to look at Sonic creepypastas, when I used to play Sonic games, hey, we're the same kind of people that read Sonic fan fiction, adult fan fiction. I brought my friends in on it. We had a good time. Sonic for me is something that I've grown up with, okay? And when the dimensional merge kicks in, all right, I can't wait to be part of Mobius, ladies and gentlemen. Now, to understand, Sonic Colors is a 10-year-old game, okay? It's a Wii game, a DS game, and recently it's got a remaster, buckos, except it's about as remastered as a dog turd in a microwave. Now, ladies and gentlemen, how do you think... First off, 3D Sonic games, look, I've been burned once, I've been burned twice, I've been burned 7 times at this point. So I'm one of those old school players that has realized every time a 3D Sonic game comes out, be a little careful. And be a little careful indeed. So if you didn't know, a few days ago, Sonic Colors Ultimate Edition was basically released on the Switch, on the PlayStation 4, the PlayStation 5, the Xbox One, the PC. Hell, I think there might even be a Game Boy port. I don't know. But apparently, people who bought the Digital Deluxe Edition, I want you to remember that, the Digital Deluxe Edition, meaning they paid more than the average person was going to pay on the Sonic game. They paid the ultimate price. And boy, oh boy, did this game release early. And it turns out, I think it might need a little patchy patch. I think it might need a patch on top of the patch on top of the patch. So this is an entire 4-minute 20-second. God, I need to toke before I make these videos. This was recorded by a YouTuber known as Just Lemriz, who basically recorded 4 minutes and 20 seconds of gameplay for Sonic Colors Ultimate on the Switch. Now, this is a Switch exclusive deal, and it comes with an epilepsy warning. I have to give you an epilepsy warning in the beginning of the video and now. If you have epileptic issues, do not watch this video, okay? All right, go do something else, all right? Go do anything but watch this video, because if you actually have epilepsy, it might trigger. Look at this clip for a second. So this is not actually hell, ladies and gentlemen. This is gameplay from Sonic Colors, and as you can see, this is actually on the hardware. If you look really closely again, that was captured on a modded Switch. I can tell you it's a modded Switch because they actually have tinfoil, which is a way for them to run NSPs, XCIs, basically like backup versions of games on a Nintendo Switch. All right, that's modded. So here they've got Sonic Colors Ultimate running. Now, modding a Switch does nothing to the visuals here, okay? Modding a Switch will not affect the visual. This is running on native hardware as it's intended, okay? As the game was supposed to run. So bam, that's pretty much what it is. So as you can see, the game is having a bit of a problem trying to render basic textures and colors in general, okay? This is a fucking light show, all right? I have been to raves in my life that are less colorful than this. Now, to the common eye, I might understand what is the problem, right? I mean, the game is titled Sonic Colors, all right? Not only is it Sonic Colors, it's Sonic Colors Ultimate. And last time I checked, these colors are definitely colors, and they definitely appear to be goddamn ultimate. As far as the Sonic model goes, that's not ultimate, ladies and gentlemen. That looks like a manatee, for crying out loud. Now, don't let your bunghole pucker up this hard. This is what I initially saw. So this comes from Minato Meta, who says, this game costs money. Hashtag Nintendo Switch. So again, it's all relegated to the Nintendo Switch. Let me hit play on this one and show you. So as you can see, it's actually quite normal. You know, you're just doing these standard run levels, except it seems like a giant Sonic.exe style goatsy is about to envelop our friend Sonic at this point. This is just the primer of the visual glitches you're about to see. This comes from actual creepypasta shit, so Smonk decided to show like what Sonic's character would look like. Again, you're looking at an epileptic seizure as a character model, okay? And there's explanations for this that I'm going to get to. But I think what is the final god of night terrors is this image right here. This comes from Smonk again. I don't even know how this passed game development. You would imagine if you were a game tester, this right here, like maybe the game testers were just epileptics. Maybe maybe right now, whoever they got to outsource this to, those testers are actually dead right now. I think that might be what's going on. How did this ever get past release? How? This had to have been found. You're telling me somebody pulled a Cyberpunk 2077 at the office and somehow you forgot this is how the game was going to end up being? Now, because it's a Sonic game, you can imagine there's gonna be some fucking drama. So one of the studios behind this was Blind Squirrel Games, and I think this is the studio they got to remaster Sonic Colors. Now, I don't know if they remastered the entire thing, like, across all platforms, but they definitely had their cock well plunged into the Switch version. Now, Blind Squirrel Games is not a bad studio. As far as I know, these are the same people that worked on Mass Effect Legendary Edition, a really, really good port of the Mass Effect trilogy on the current generation systems. So these guys aren't bad. It's just they kind of dropped the ball with this game development engine. And in fact, if you actually play the game, it'll tell you straight up it runs on their engine. Now, the real controversy here is apparently they had a bunch of calls in their code, like their executable, to the Godot game engine. If you don't know what the Godot game engine is, it's an open source engine that you'd probably see a lot in terms of the Linux community. Like if I go on Reddit/Linux Gaming, which is where I frequent most of the time, you'll probably find like an independent developer pushing a game that was made underneath Godot, or, just updates to the engine. It's not a bad engine. It's actually quite good. It's unfortunate that it's currently involved in being in the Sonic Colors debacle, but generally, when you're doing open source stuff, you should probably make proper licensing and attributions to the engine, which Blind Squirrel didn't do, but so far they rectified it. They're going to clear it up, which, good, you should, just saying. Now, to understand this whole controversy in the Sonic community, because you have to understand, anytime the Blue Hedgehog gets involved on the internet, it brings out the worst in some people. So when I first saw these glitches, I didn't really want to make a video on it because I found out, I thought initially that people were actually faking this entire situation. I thought people were faking it by basically putting the game into an emulator and getting these glitches. See, if you don't know, the Nintendo Switch has emulators right now that are actually really good. Two of them. One is Yuzu and one is Ryujinx, okay? Basically, if you want to play Switch games on your PC right now, those are the emulators you're going to need. You're also going to need to have, Switch files themselves, so it's not exactly a pirate-friendly system, okay? But anyways, these are two emulators you can use. Recently, I played through The World Ends With You Neo through an emulator on the Switch, meaning I got 60 frames and better load times than what the Switch was ever capable of doing. So, point is, when I saw these glitches, I thought people were putting it into the emulator and calling it a day. In fact, this one account straight up went and said, there's been a debate on my thread about whether I'm playing the Nintendo Switch version of Sonic Colors Ultimate. First of all, yes, I am playing it on Yuzu, the emulator. Now, you all got your answer about that cursor. Are you happy? Though now this has started something I didn't intend. So then you get down to the next one. Really, when I posted the video, it was so I could be spread around and someone could try to get it on a real Switch to prove or not to prove. Basically, they spread this information around. There was a lot of FUD. Point is, it really freaked people out. They were like, is this game really broken, or is this guy putting it through an emulator? Now, of course, the Sonic community said the guy who admitted to faking the Sonic Color Ultimate glitches via the emulator deleted his account. This person knows they're in serious trouble with law enforcement. Oh man, it's the Sonic community. God, you think the you think the FBI are gonna break down to the door right now because you emulated the game and apparently released footage? Look, regardless of what your stance is on slander or libel, I honestly don't even think the team behind the game, I don't think Sega's legal division even looked at that Twitter post. So whatever, nothing's gonna happen. Calm down, people. It's a video game, okay? It's a Sonic game. It's a kid's game, all right? Not like national. It's not a case of national security. Stop it. Now, one thing is, I couldn't handle this level of slander, so you've seen the glitches right now. Well, ladies and gentlemen, in this case, I actually have Yuzu right here. Now, I played through the first section of the game, and I have encountered no bugs whatsoever. So here I'm going to connect a good old-fashioned Xbox One controller. I'm going to get Yuzu right over here, and I'm actually going to run the game. So it's actually launching right now, and just give it like maybe like 5 more seconds. It takes a little bit of time for you to launch the game up because it's recalling the shader cache from before. But here it is, dude. It's a Sega game, man. Sonic Team is on here. Blind Squirrel Games, all right. You know, little. It's so far so good. It's on their engine with the help of Godot, of course. Here we go. We got the blue hedgehog. We're loading in just fine. No glitches so far. Look at that, dude. It's a good port. Look at that. Look at that. Sonic colors. You can't even deny it. People slandering the emulators like they're part of the problem. So far, the emulator works just fine. Here it is. Let's actually just load up this new level that I'm in right now, okay? I know there's somebody out there like, oh, Muda got D's on these levels, right? Dude, I'm not a goddamn expert. This is a simple time attack game, okay? All right? I just wanted to have a good time with Sonic. Hell yeah, dude. Bring it on. The blue hedgehog is here. But as you can see right now, underneath the emulator, it works just fine. There is not a single texture issue that I'm actually seeing under the emulator. So, you know, I'm not going to stand. I am actually not going to stand this level of slander to the emulator community. I understand that Yuzu can have glitches, but I have played through this game so far without any actual glitch so far. So far, at least. Now, I think this is an interesting case where I can talk about emulation a little bit. See, if there are actual glitches in an emulator, it's actually to be expected. So let me explain something real quick. Emulators are designed to emulate the the hardware in question through software. Now, to understand, think about something like a PS2 emulator, right? PS2 is a system that has had games with severe frame rate issues at times, okay? It's not the fastest system imaginable. Now, if your emulator is focused on being accurate, then the accurate emulator will also emulate the frame rate issues of that system. So let's say you're playing something like Shadow of the Colossus on a PS2, and it drops down to like 15 frames in one section, okay, when you're looking at one of the Colossuses. Now, if you're setting your emulator to accuracy, then the emulator will also emulate that frame drop on the hardware. So you're trying to emulate the hardware, it doesn't matter about the game. Now, with an emulator, of course, you can always go and you can always sort of modify or circumvent things through patches and sort of bypass some of those frame issues. But then again, that's how emulation works. So let's say the actual hardware did have graphical issues, like we saw earlier, the emulator would also be poised to emulate those graphical glitches. Remember, we're emulating a system here, okay? Emulation comes with a lot of its curses too. If the system has issues that are just part of the entire system, it's going to be emulated in the emulator because remember, emulators are emulating the entire system. That's pretty much the gist of it. Now, in this case, as far as the Sonic game goes, I again have not encountered any single issue myself. And that's not to say, the more I play this game, the issues won't manifest, but they are working on a patch which hopefully should resolve a big chunk of these problems. But as the game goes so far, there's actually a weird story that I kind of want to get into because I was finding it on the internet, and I don't know if this is true or not, but some people have said that the source code for this game may have gone missing. And because the source code may have gone missing, it turns out maybe the developer downloaded an ISO for the Wii game and maybe worked off of that. But that's not something I believe, because that sounds so close to the Silent Hill 2 issue. Basically, if you don't remember, Silent Hill HD was an HD remaster of Silent Hill 2 and 3. And back then, they actually did lose the source code at Konami. So one of the developers, they just tried rebuilding the game from scratch. So they ended up having one of the worst ways to play Silent Hill 2. We're talking, they got rid of the fog effect. And I think at some point, don't quote me on this. I'm gonna have to find it I'm gonna have to replay those games. But I think they used Comic Sans as a font in some cases. Wild story. Now, in a lot of cases, these are just simply texture and rendering glitches, okay? So, of course, it's not unfixable. Blind Squirrel is sitting down and patching the hell out of this game right now, just so that this doesn't happen. It is to note that I did end up buying this game on Amazon physically, just so I can have a physical on-cart version of these glitches for the end of time. This is the kind of stuff that I love preserving, man. I'm telling you, this is like Christmas for me, okay? I'm just saying. But ladies and gentlemen, this was the Sonic Colors situation. Totally wild stuff indeed. Honest to God, I am not surprised. Okay, at this point, a 3D Sonic game coming out should be expected. to have bugs. But to be real with you, would it really be a Sonic game if it didn't come out like pure anal pus? Come on now, ladies and gentlemen. You're forgetting that Sonic Colors Ultimate has a very good meme potential to become the new Sonic 06, all right? And honestly, in this point in society, I think we need more Sonic 06s. Something about Sonic Colors Ultimate's visual problems and overall port issues honestly brings the community together. And honestly, in a world as divisive as we have now, maybe this is what we've needed. Now, to understand, some people have compared Sonic Colors to other bad ports like Shin Megami Tensei 3. Look, that game might be a dog shit port. I fucking agree. But at least I wasn't suffering epileptic attacks in that game. This is actually dangerous, okay? And because of how dangerous it is, you bet I went on Amazon right before I filmed this video and I bought a fat copy of this game. And hopefully when it comes in, I'll definitely be streaming it on twitch.tv/someordinarygamer. So hopefully I'll see you over there. If you like what you saw, please like, comment, and subscribe. Dislike it if you dislike it. I am out.